The idea that the whole world is going digital is not completely wrong, but it's not exactly true either. The more accurate statement might be that the world is in the process of becoming more digital. We use e-readers and we review images on our computers. We digitize books, papers, articles, and all those things so that we can unlock the ability to work with them more efficiently and effectively. We also digitize products so that we can transmit them during a meeting without having to send physical copies to everybody. But the challenge is that making those digital copies of the documents, images, and books can be time consuming. It can be a process that doesn't give us the quality results that we're looking for in the time frame that we're looking for. So what we need is a solution that allows us to digitize our research and our study materials in a way that extends our ability to work with them. And we especially need to be able to do this quickly. Well, there's a solution, which brings me to the sponsor of this video. CZUR Book Scanners, or here in Canada we would see CZUR Book Scanners, sent me this very interesting tool called a Shine Ultra Pro book scanner. They gave it to me to test out so I could demonstrate it and see if it would be a good fit for what I'm doing in terms of creating digital content from some physical material that I have. And it's an interesting solution for all of us that do have a lot of physical books and documents and images that we need to digitize. I know I have a vast library of materials that I do not have in digital format. So I spent the week using it and testing it out in all sorts of different scenarios so I could see how it would work for me. And it turned out to be a pretty pleasant surprise because it had uses not just for the scanning, which I expected it to do, but also as a tool that I could use to work with in meetings. So if I wanted to have a document that I wanted to share with somebody during a Zoom or a Teams meeting, I could use it and connect it up as a webcam input for those meetings, which I thought was really cool. It's really user-friendly. It can be used for the remote teaching and learning and research that I'm doing, and you can use it for presentation, remote teaching, remote meetings, all that sort of good stuff. So it's a tool that I'm starting to use more and more, even though I've only had it for about a week or so. Let's take a look. It's pretty neat, and I think you're going to find it interesting. The UltraScan Pro ships in this box, which has a number of foam inserts, so you can use it as a transport case. You can also take it out. It's very compact, very transportable. So what you get with it is you'll get the CD with software, but I recommend downloading the software off the internet for either Mac or PC. So we'll put that aside actually. And it comes with a mat, so it's a black mat, and the unit itself is this base that has the arms on it. So there's a arm that goes vertical, and then there's one that swings out horizontal. We'll see that in a moment as well. So let's put down the black mat. It does have an orientation. The very top has a small cutout where the unit sort of sits flush with it. Then we get a foot pedal. This is super cool. I don't have to press a button on my computer to scan. I have a couple of page flatteners, which get scanned out of any scans that I do. They're removed from any scans I do. And your standard USB cord to go to my computer. That's it, very compact. You can see that the size of the CD shows you about the size of the unit here in relation. It's very compact, easy to carry. Here it is set up, so I've got the unit at the edge there. I can swing the arm out above the scanning surface and then extend it up to get a wider scanning area. This is very useful. Now, with the bottom of the unit, you're going to see that I have a connection to the foot pedal and a connection to the computer. So the connection to the computer is obviously for the computer software to see it, and the foot pedal is very, very useful. Now that we have the unit set up, we're going to take a look at how we can go and grab chapters from a novel or an entire book, how I can grab sections from a textbook, or potentially I could grab just an illustration from a textbook. So we can do either entire pages, we can do sections of pages, we can grab academic journals that we might have, where we want to grab articles out of printed journals. Maybe we've made annotations and we want to make sure we scan those in. And we're going to take a look at how we can work with photographs or stamps or any type of document that we might have that I need to scan in. You're going to see that it's a very rapid way of putting this information into a digital format. We're going to take a look at these two page holders in a moment, but let's prepare my area. Going to grab the foot pedal, put it down by my foot, and this means I don't have to press any buttons on my computer. Let's grab something, this valuable comic that I have. So I'm going to make a scan of this. Let's say for some reason I want to have this scanned. so I don't have to read the original comic book and damage it. So I'm going to go in and place it on the working area. In the software, you'll notice that the software finds the edges of the document itself. Press the foot pedal, I already have my image. When I open it up, you'll notice that it's curved. And what I want to do here is go into my curved book feature, and it's going to give me a little guideline. So I'm going to place the book right on that guide, and here's where my page flatteners come in. I don't want my hands in the scan, so if I take these page flatteners and put them down, they'll actually be removed from the scan. Just press the foot pedal, get an image, turn the next page, go in, flatten it down with the page flatteners, and you're going to see that these completely are removed from the scans. Boom, I've scanned 2 pages at the same time, and they'll process off to the left-hand side there. So that's how I can do a document. Let's do a book. So here I have a book, a textbook. Maybe there's a section, or maybe the entire textbook I want to grab some pages from. So here when I put it down, I may or may not need the page flatteners. It depends how flat the book sits. So I've got it in here. Let's go into the software. You'll notice that I am in the curved book feature. So when I do open it up, it'll still give me that guide saying, hey, you have a curved book. But here I don't need the page flatteners. I can rapidly go in and I can go and just hit the foot pedal, get a scan of both pages, and then I'm going to have the ability just to quickly flip through the book, grab another 2 pages, grab another 2 pages, very rapidly go through the many pages of this book and scan them. If I want a specific image, I can also go into the scan selected region. In this case here, I can select the region by pressing Control and dragging my mouse. Now in this case here, I would recommend using the book flatteners just because this image will be a little curved if I leave it like this, so I might want to flatten it out a little bit. Now let's go back into the scanner itself, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some stamps that I have. I'm a stamp collector, so I have a bunch of stamps, and maybe I want to make like a nice little album of the different stamps I have. So what I'm going to do, I'll put this one aside, I'm going to go in, take out my stamps here, and let's go into the software in a moment. I want to make it so that I create an album here. So I want to take an image like this of the stamp with the holder for the stamp, and then what I want to do is I want to take an image of the inside. So you'll see that the stamp here I want to take an image of. So here we go. This is me putting the stamps down. So you can see, I'm going to move this one to the side again. I just showed you that a moment ago. So then I'm opening it up, taking the stamp out, and this information here I want us to capture as well. So here is going to be the front side, but on the same page I want a second image. So I'm going to go into Combine Slides. And this absolutely turns out beautiful. I'm going to put the front part of the slide on here. So I'm going to implement the scan. That's going to be scan number 1. Then what I'm going to do is put the reverse side. So I'm going to move the stamp away, flip over the holder for the stamps, and this is going to be the second side. And now I'm going to have a single page that has both of those images on it. I'll just do it again quickly with this stamp here. So you can see, again, grab the front side, press the foot pedal, I've got it, and then take away that one piece, take away the stamp itself, flip for the text that's in the center there, and press the foot pedal. Once it finds it, press the foot pedal, and that's going to be the second side. We'll see when we process these, it's very beautiful. I can just take a single image as well, go back to flat paper, and just take a single image if I only want one side. You can see I'm starting to build this up very quickly. Now, the next thing that I can do is, let's say I have a novel. So here I have a novel, and I don't want to carry this novel with me. I just want to have a PDF of a chapter. So if I go into this book here, choose the chapter that I want to read on the bus, or choose the chapter I want to read with my Kindle or whatever it might be. And what we'll do is, again, put the book down. In this case here, this is going to be a curved book. So I'll open it up to the chapter that I want to carry with me. I'll go into the curved book again. In this case, because the book does have a lot of bend to it, I might want to use the page flatteners. So I'll just choose the chapter that I want to carry with me. So I could squish it down, but it's still going to be curved. So in this case here, I definitely want to use those flatteners there. And once again, those are taken out of the scans once they're processed. So I'll go through, and this is how fast I can scan this chapters. I just go in, and because of the foot pedal and the rapid speed that I can do the scanning, I can just quickly go in, scan many, many pages. Now that I've done my scanning, let's go back and let's start processing some of these images. So I'll go back, and this gives me the software, and you can see all of the various scans that I have are available to me, and I can begin processing. There's a lot of things I can do around cropping, editing, exporting, and these are all the images I have. So I can go through, I can see, even though I scan 2 pages at a time, each of these came out as a separate page because I used the curved book feature. If I go further down, this is the textbook that I scanned in. A lot of different options I can select. Let's select all the pages from the comic book that I scanned in. So I select just those pages. I can go in and delete them if I want, and I can export them. I'm going to export these out to a PDF document, and I can choose things like the quality of the PDF. I can decide to do one page, like might create multiple PDFs, or just one PDF that has all of the pages in it. I'll give it a name. So in this case, I'll call it Uncle Scrooge number 1, and I'll just put it on the desktop for now. So we'll save that. It's going to go through and process that document, and I'm going to have a PDF of higher quality, the 100% quality here. It's now completed. Let's go take a look at that PDF. Now, if you have Adobe Acrobat installed, it'll open up with whatever your default PDF reader is. But here we go. I can now go through and you'll look at the quality of it. So I can go through and I can see every single page that I scanned, and I can now have a copy of that particular comic book. I only did a few pages of it, but now I can go and read it. Let's go back into the software and let's clear off those. What I can do is actually delete them, and I can remove them from the list. So they're not completely just removed from the list. And I have a lot of different export options. I could go in, PDF, I could do it as Word. So in this case here, I'm going to choose some of the textbook that I had and some of the images from the textbook. Let's confirm that textbook page. But this time when I export them, I'm going to export them out to Word and use OCR in order to convert it to a Word document. So it's going to go through and take that image that I've chosen. This is from the textbook that I scanned. It's going to initialize an OCR engine. This can take a little time depending on the number of pages that I'm putting in there. And I will say that the OCR is quite good. Sometimes with different languages or with some formulas, you may have to go and check it to make sure it's done a good job. If it's a long process, I can move it to the background. But here we go. So I've got the book from my artificial intelligence textbook. It's a Word document. And the difference here, of course, is 1, it's a Word document. But 2, it did a really good job of OCR. I would check these formulas and such. And then what I can do is actually go in and I can begin editing. So for example, if I want to add the word, it's very impossible. It's not really very good grammar, but the idea here is that you'll notice I now have an editable format. Here's my stamps. So with my stamps, I'm going to go in. You can see that it created this really nice page where it created the front side and the back side, both all on one scan. I can bring these out to some high quality images. So I can bring it out as a TIFF image. So let's say I'm building a stamp album and I want to go in and confirm here. I can now go in and I'll just put in whatever I called it, conservation stamps. So you can see I did this a couple times while I was doing the demo. So in this case here, I make them conservation stamps. It completes it. And now because I created that really nice image, let's go into the image file and I could print this off. This is actually quite a funny story where I could take a physical object, make a digital copy of it, and then print it out again for a stamp album. So you have a lot of different options. Here's the novel, and remember that I use those page flatteners here, and you'll notice that the page flatteners don't appear. There's a little bit of a smudge look there that you can see, but that's certainly okay by me because it still looks very crisp and clean. It's still going to be very readable. So now I'm going to export this out. So I can go in here, I'll put it into a folder called Books to Read or whatever the case may be. So maybe I'm going to have these for when I'm commuting or for when I'm on the bus. So I'll say Books for the Bus. And this way I can just carry it on a portable device such as a Kindle. I'll do output of these pages. Again, I'll combine them all into one document or one by one, whatever I prefer. And here we go. Now I have all of the pages of this book and I can read this book on the bus. As we've seen, the Shine Ultra Pro really helps to solve some of those challenges that we have around creating digital copies of physical material and sharing it with others. And I should probably mention that here in Canada, we have a fair use legislation that allows me to legally make copies of all the materials that I own for personal, educational, or research use. I actually phoned our librarian at the institution where I work to make sure that it was all above board. And the fair use policy in Canada does allow me to make those copies, so all of the scanning I did here was perfectly acceptable as long as I'm not distributing those copies to other people who do not own the material. The Shine Ultra Pro is also very reasonably priced, so which is good for schools or individual teachers, offices that need them. You don't just have to get one, you can get one for each of the people that's doing a remote course, or you can get them for different areas of the office because you're not going to have some exorbitant cost. I'll put a link down below on details, of course, of how you can get more information on them and how you can even get one yourself. So thank you very much to CZUR, or CZUR in Canada, for sending this along and allowing me to add it to my learning and teaching tool set. It's going to get a lot of use from me, and I'm even thinking about some of the other products that they have which might prove useful in my environment as well as different ways that I can use this to be a more effective remote teacher and to get a lot of content that I want to carry around with me into a digital format, which has always been a hassle in the past, but it's quite easy now. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Like and share this with other colleagues that might be looking for a solution like this as well. And thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.